Hello children, how are you? Today's our subject is Environmental Studies Part 2, EVS Part 2. In this subject, we are going to learn about the history. We are going to learn some important concept about the history. We will learn the concept of time and history, evolution of animals, evolution of mankind. All this important concept about the history we will learn in this subject. In today's lesson video, we are going to start our first chapter, and the name of this chapter is What is the History? So, children, let's see what is the history. History. History is a science that tells us about the event in the past. So, children, history is a science, and that science tells us the information about the event that taken place in the past. So here we learn that history is a science, and this history is studied about the event in the past. So here the event in the past or the time in the past is very important for the history. Student, for our convenience of understanding the sequence of event, we can divide the time into past, present and future. This dividation helps us to understand the sequence of event. Let's see this dividation of time: past, present and future. Number 1, past. It is the time which has already gone by. It includes the event which have already taken place. All these times we include in the past tense. Number 2, present tense or a present. It is the time which we are in now. So this time we include in the present. Number 3, future. Children, it is the time that is yet to come. This time we call as a future. So here, for our convenience to understand the sequence, we are divide the time in these three parts: past, present and future. The time in the past we generally describe by the terms sometimes ago, yesterday, last year and etc. The time in the present we generally describe by the terms now, today, this year and etc. Similarly, the time in the future we describe by the terms after some time, tomorrow, next year and etc. For example, if you are 10 years old, so 10 years from now in future you will be 20 years old. So children, in these manners we divide the time in these three parts: past, present and future for our convenience. Children, we had learned the science that tries to understand the events of the past is called history. History is a science, therefore history consider a scientific method. Let's see the scientific method of history. Children, every science is based on some of the fact and evidence. These facts and evidence are verified with the help of experiment, which can be repeated at any time, any place. The method of using a number of different tests to determine whether a given evidence is reliable or not is known as the scientific method. The scientific method can also be used to examine the details presented by the different narration of the same events. This helps us to determining the correction of the fact. For example, student, we hear the different stories of our childhood from our parents, grandparents and etc. The difference in their narration make us wonder which story is correct. Similarly, the scientific method of examining can help us to determine which story is reliable and which one is not. However, while verifying history, it is not possible to conduct the experiment by recreating event of the past. Due to this, the method of presenting history is different from that of the other science. The scientific method used for the history comprises of the following steps. Let's see. Number 1, collecting evidence. This is the first step. In this step, collect all the evidence which are connected with the past event from the excavations and wherever we found. So this is the first step. Number two, examine the evidence. This is the second step. In this step, use different tests to determine the reliability of that evidence. Number three, putting together the evidence so as to form of a sequence of events. So in these manners, the scientific method consider for the history. For this, the help of the other streams of science is also taken wherever required. Thus, history is a scientific discipline and is not based on solely on imagination. The different sources of history include ancient objects, structures, sculpture, pots, coins, inscription, copper plates, books, manuscript, traditional stories and song remember over the generation and etc. All these sources of history provide a guideline to write down the history account. The source of history can be classified as a material source, written source, and oral source. Ancient object, structure, sculpture, pots, coins, these are the material source. Inscription, copper plates, books, manuscript, these are written source of history. Traditional stories and song which are remembered over the generation, these are oral source of history. The source of the history provide us the evidence which require to understand the past. These evidence are collected and thoroughly examined to determine their reliability. The evidence which are able to pass the test of reliability help us to write a historical account by putting the events in a proper sequence. This method used to write the historical account is known as the scientific method of history. So children, this from this lesson we had to learn some definition of history. History is a science and that science tries to understand the event of the past. History is a science and therefore history considered is a scientific discipline. We had also learned the scientific method of history which is different that of the other science. Thank you.